So it was going to be one of those nights. It was going to be one of those nights. What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Kevin and Zach React. The Baltimore Orioles drop the series finale to the LA Dodgers 6-3. Didn't mean that the Orioles didn't have their chances. And before I get any further in, it wouldn't be Kevin and Zach React without the other half. Kevin Ostreicher. Kevin, not the way the Orioles would attend this, but like we said, we were just hoping don't get swept. Don't get swept. Mike, facts. I actually want to parlay tonight. Over, I said on the show, smash the over in the Colorado, North Dakota State game. It hit by 1. Never a doubt. Never a doubt. So, Kevin, how was it?
Well, if you smash the over on Dodgers hits, you're feeling pretty good. Although that hit pretty early too, I'm sure. So, yeah, man, today could be Monday. Today could be Wednesday. Today could be Saturday. It's the same show every single time.
It's Friday day. It's Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, that's a banger, by the way. That is a.
Oh, it is a banger.
That is a banger.
We're in Groundhog's Day. Feels like every single day we come on and we reiterate the same exact message over and over again. And here it is. The Baltimore Orioles lose by 3 runs. They scored 3 runs, all via the home run ball. And guess what? They were 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position, which was the home run. Yeah, that was the one hit. And they left 7 on base. It just feels like we play the same exact game over and over and over again. Kevin, I put it in the chat right before you got in. I made a tequila drink. I'm just going to be real. I was sitting there. As soon as Gunnar got up with the bases loaded, it was like, okay, this is the game. That was the game. He was either hitting a single and tying it, or we were getting out of it, and that's what happened. So, that's
it. I mean, this team has fallen way too in love with the home run ball. This has been a conversation we've been having for the entire year.
Get a team, get somebody who loves you the way the Baltimore Orioles love swinging for the fences.
Man, you'll never – that is an unquestionable, powerful love that you're talking about right there. But you can't win that way. You can't win consistently that way. There it is again, consistent. I want to go one of these episodes without saying the word consistency. I want to do it.
I don't see it happening.
I want to make it a goal of mine that the Orioles are playing well enough to where I can say that they're playing consistently, and then they win again, and I don't have to say it anymore.
Yeah. They haven't won 3 straight.
I want to say it. I want to say that the Orioles can't win in the playoffs this way. They can't. They have enough talent to win in the playoffs, but they can't win the way they're playing because you can't rely on the home run ball. And this is not new information. I have said this. I know you have said this before too. This is not us just being like, oh, now we're going to take an opportunity to say it because they lost 2 or 3. No, we've been saying this for like months where they fall in love with the home run ball. Weren't they 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position the other night?
Yeah.
So they actually did better with runners in scoring position today, which is crazy because they actually hit a homer with runners in scoring position. But I mean, it's not consistent enough, and you're exactly right. The game was lost when Gunnar struck out with the bases loaded, and he knew it. He slammed the bat. That was the opportunity. Adley draws a walk. Adley never draws walks anymore. Adley draws a walk.
What happened, Adley?
Yeah. It's tough. We released a video earlier today of our show from last night talking about what's going on with Adley and this Orioles offense. And the answer is that, I mean, for Adley in particular, he's just getting under balls, man. He's uppercutting, he's getting under the ball, and it's just going right up in the air. And by the way, Aloy can't hit the ball in the air. So maybe those two should get together and exchange superpowers.
Yeah, can we get to
and you get 2 All-Stars out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I just feels like this is the issue is I don't know if Adley's dealing with something. I don't know if this is off the field stuff, if there's some nagging injury. but this is not Adley Rutschman. Like, that's what's weird. Like, players go through slumps. Players have bad years, but this is just like something changed. Like, I don't know what to put it on, except for the fact that, like, you just look at him and something's different. Like, it's not necessarily a mechanics thing. It just looks like he's swinging for it all each time. He's missing the baseball. He's, like you said, Kevin, how many pop-ups can you have at one time? It feels like every single Adley Rutschman at bat goes the exact same way. Strike one because he looks at the first pitch. Then he swings at ball one in the dirt. So you're down 0-2, usually then takes the next pitch, and then he pops up. It's just it's clockwork.
I think that me watching these games, I feel more confident when there are no runners on base as opposed to when the bases are loaded.
Yeah.
Like, and that is great. Like, I feel crazy saying that. I feel insane saying that. But, like, when Gunnar came up, I was like, here we go again. There's just no confidence. And I want to believe. I want to be confident. But, like, what have they done to show us outside of Tony's grand slam and Jackson's big hit that, like, they can do that recently? Like, those have been the two. They found the magic. And we were saying, Zach, we literally said on the Jackson, well, we said it on the Tony show and on the Jackson show in that 4-game set with the Astros. We were like, can they, like, grab this, take it, put it in a bottle, and just keep it there and have it and use it and be consistent now? Because they had that, and it's just like that little sliver where we talked about it. I mean, you certainly talked about it with Heston. I mean, you had some words. And then the other one was with Jackson and his grand slam against Toronto, where you're like, can they take this little sliver of excitement, of magic, and can they have that propel them? Can they take that momentum and go forward with it? And the answer every single time has been no. And so when Tony and Jackson had that back-to-back, the magic was back. It was feeling great. Vibes were there. We're like, okay, now you have 2 jars of magic in a row. Can you take that momentum and can you go with it?
And then they steal game 1. Ramon Arias with the home run. They steal game 1 in LA, and we're sitting here going, okay. Remember, Kevin, we were talking about if they're able to win 2 of 3 in LA after that first one, you felt like the vibes were completely back. And it wasn't due to lack of opportunity that they lost these past 2 games. It just felt like over and over again, it was the same situation. The Orioles gave up outs. Like, they fielding once again hurt them. You see rundowns, getting guys stuck, and then we can't get them out at first. We're throwing it into their back. We look like a low IQ baseball team right now. Like, teams are trying to mess with the Orioles. They're trying to take extra bases. They're trying to get caught in rundowns because they know the Orioles will let them score. Like, it's the little things right now that are really just killing the Orioles. They're giving teams extra outs. It's not that the ball was getting smashed around tonight. It was all bloopers. We had a Baltimore chop get 2 RBIs turn into a double. Like, this was not something that it was like the Orioles went out there and the Dodgers hit 14 line drives into the gap and won this game. It was just death by a million bloops here and there. And that's what's most annoying, is because when that's happening, it's like, what do you even do? There's hard to be an adjustment of, oh, we need them to hit it less hard. Like, you're getting soft contact. It's just bloopers. Like, the Orioles are at this point right now where none of it, like, you just laugh. Kike Hernandez has, like, played 16 games in his career at first base, looked like a Gold Glover today snagging stuff. Like, it feels like that's how it's been over the past 2 months. It's the Orioles, hard contact leads to nothing. Then you get blooped to death and you give up 3-4 runs in an inning. You have defense let you down. It's frustrating, Kevin.
You want to know the word or the emotion that I was feeling as I saw the Dodgers score runs the way that they did? Jealousy. It was jealousy. Yeah. How many home runs, like you said, Zach, did the Dodgers hit tonight?
None.
How many runs did the Dodgers score?
6.
runners in scoring position, bloops, singles, little hits, getting guys in when they get on base. That is what we have been saying for months. That is what we want the Orioles to be. The formula. They do it every once in a while. I'm not saying they never do it, but they don't do it enough. And this game is like, frame it, put it on a wall of playoff baseball versus not playoff baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Where in the playoffs, you're not going to hit a homer every game. You're not going to have that. So can you get the guys around when you need to? Can you get guys? The Orioles tonight only had 4 hits.
Yeah.
That was, if they executed right, they still could have won the game with 4 hits, much like they won the game with 3 hits the other night.
5 walks.
They couldn't do it tonight. And
you know what was the epitome of just encapsulated the past few months, Kevin? Cedric Mullins leads off, I believe it was the 3rd inning, I want to say. Let me
when he stole second?
Yeah. Leads off the inning with a walk. Then goes out and steals second base. So now you're sitting with the tying run on second base, no outs. You go ground ball to the shortstop, can't advance him. You go strikeout, walk, pop up. You can't do that. You have to get no outs, guys on second. You have to score that man. Especially with Seti's speed, all it takes is get him over with 1 out, get him to third with 1 out, and then a short fly ball, a ground ball. Anything scores him. But you can't be striking out. You can't be grounding to the left side. And it feels like we talk about replaying the same exact game over and over. It is. It feels like, gets on second. You sat there and you're like, as soon as Ramon Urias grounded to the shortstop and say he didn't get over, I was like, well, that was fun. We'll get him next inning. Maybe someone can hit a homer, and that's it. You just kind of move on. And then think about this. Now, I'm not going to say this is exactly what would have happened, but let's say Colton Cowser doesn't hit that 3-run homer and he just walks. Bases loaded. Adley went out there and popped up. We would have had yet another opportunity just thrown to the wayside if we don't hit home runs. And that's just the most frustrating point, is the lack of doubles. Last year, man, this team was just gap-to-gap doubles. It's why they miss Westy. Westy was the king of doubles. He would just go spray the entire field, find a gap, he would hit it sitting on second base. They're missing that right now. Jorge Mateo, love him or hate him, bloop single, he was trying to get to second. There was energy there. Westy, there's always, whether it's, he's not the exuberant, this insane, like in front of the camera, silly guy like Colton Cowser. He's a very serious guy, but he plays with energy. He goes out there. He takes extra bases. You don't see that from Gunnar anymore. Gunner's not playing with the same energy anymore. Adley's not playing with the same energy anymore. We talk about us feeling drained, Kevin. You look at the Baltimore Orioles right now, they look drained. There's no fire. It feels like the only guy with fire right now is Tony. And it's because of the Grand Slam. It's just really... it's frustrating. It's draining to watch. I don't know what happened. The saying, it's like, what happened to the team I love? What happened to the sport I love? Last year, they were stealing bases, putting pressure on the defense. The bullpen was getting it done. They played sound defense. They were one of the best defensive teams in the league. It felt like they could do no wrong. And now we sit here, and you just hope that the defense doesn't throw the game away with errors. You hope that pitchers just don't have that blow-up inning. You hope that they can just get a single hit with runners in scoring position. When they go down, it feels over, Kevin. This was not we called them the cardiac comeback kids last year. It just doesn't feel like the same team.
Yeah, we even called it. We started to say, "Oh, are they back?" When Tony had the Grand Slam. Jackson, he did his thing, and
felt like it.
It felt like, hey, maybe they turned it. I mean, but look, we're now 2 days away, since we're at 1:33 a.m. on August 30th. 2 days away from September. Call-ups are going to happen. Hopefully, the Orioles get guys back. And it's important to have context with injuries, but offensively, they miss Jordan Westburg a lot, but Ramon has been on fire. And then, other than that, I mean, Gunner's in the lineup still. Adley's in the lineup still. You have Colton, who's been, he came back down to earth a little, but he's still like he's on pace to win Rookie of the Year. I'd be shocked if he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But like, the injuries are the pitching thing. Not that they don't have offensive injuries with Mateo, obviously, as well, but the Orioles have been hit hard with pitching injuries. They have a couple of offensive injuries too. Like, those are big guys that they're missing. But we're not talking about a decimated offense that have lost all their stars, and Adley's gone, and Gunner's gone, and Colton's gone, much like the Orioles with right now. Grayson's not in there. Bradish isn't in there. Eflin's out right now. Like, that is a decimated pitching staff. We're not in that same boat with the offense, where they still have their young stars. I mean, outside of Jordan Westburg, obviously, but it's just, it's a concerning trend that's not even really a trend anymore. And it's tough because, again, it's never been a talent issue. They're just not playing good baseball right now. They're not playing winning baseball. They're not playing consistent baseball. And you're not playing playoff baseball. And that's tough. It's tough. So the offense needs to find a way to get together. Hopefully they can soon. But every time that we come on this show, Zach, and, we honestly can probably just write out a script now, can't we? Like a 20-minute intro script to the offense. And say, hey, every night you know what's coming. So we just say, 5 minutes to 10 minutes is Orioles can't hit with the runners in scoring position. 10 minutes to 17 minutes is Orioles in love with the home run ball again. And that's the whole that's what the show is, because that's what feels like we come on here and do. And I know it's exhausting to watch, exhausting, I know, for us to talk about, exhausting for everybody listening to listen to. I get it. It's tough. They need some spark. But they have had opportunities to get sparks, and they have not taken it.
They have 2 opportunities coming up. They want to spark. You're playing the Colorado Rockies.
Go sweep somebody. Go sweep. Make me eat the spicy ramen, man. Go sweep somebody.
You need to win 5 of 6 here.
Is that your disappointment threshold? If they don't win 5 of 6, you're disappointed?
No, so 4 of 6 is okay, whatever. If you win both series, 2-3. It's hard to sweep Major League Baseball teams. I will never expect a sweep. You go out there, they win 4 of 6. I'm happy. 5 of 6. I'm feeling like this is what they should have done. If they split, they lose. They just win 3 of 6. That's my threshold. Anything below 4 of 6, you have to go 4-2 over these next 2.
Something, man. And here's the not the most frustrating part, but another frustrating part is the Yankees can't get out of their own way, but neither can the Orioles.
Yeah.
And the Yankees dropped the series to Washington. That's a huge deal. And the Orioles can't take advantage of it. Now, to be fair, the Orioles are playing the Dodgers. That's not quite the Nationals, right? But this is your opportunity here. If you can beat up on some not so great teams. Oh, I guess the White Sox are the World Series favorite. But other than that,
Brooks might be onto something. Everybody change their walkout song.
All right, here's what we should do. Every Time You Touch by Cascada is the only walkout song for all 9 guys.
Everyone.
No exceptions. Everyone. Pinch hitters.
Let's get pinch hitters.
Everyone.
It's just Kevin. It's just you with an aux cord, and you're just playing the song.
Or no, you know what it should be? It should be you with just the Yankees lose for everyone as they walk.
Yeah, we just manifest it.
Yeah, that could change the vibes. That could 100% change the vibes. But yeah, this is Kevin and Zach React. We are your Orioles post-game destination. Win, lose, happiness, sadness, anger, sorrow, joy, any emotion you can think of, we have it here for you. Is there an emotion that we haven't had before?
No, that's for sure. And if you want to talk about anger, we can point to specific episode about anger. Yeah, also 100 people in here at 1:38.
Yeah, that is incredible.
After a loss, so we appreciate
after a loss that was just awful. Went later than the other losses. Went about 30 or so minutes or 20 or so minutes later than the other 2 losses. That's incredible. So, oh yeah, I'm in on this, Joe. I'm in on this.
That's my sad song of the night.
That was I felt that in my heart.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
I really felt that.
And actually, I want to bring this up, but I feel like this isn't being talked about. Mountcastle not being healthy is another thing, because whether he's slumping, he was not necessarily hot before this, he got injured. But when Mountcastle's hot, he's another guy who can. He's on. I'll get a little bold with this. Dare I say Mountcastle is on the same level of Tony when he's hot, in the way that it feels like when Ryan Mountcastle's hot, he will just go win a ball game by himself. He'll say, okay, here's 5 RBIs. He'll go get a 5 RBI game and just then it's like, okay. Like, when he's hot, that's as dangerous of a player as ever.
I agree with your point that, yes, those two have the peaks and valleys. I would say Tony has harder peaks and valleys. Like,
yeah, I'm just saying when they're both at their peak.
No, yeah, I hear, 100. Like, I agree with you 100%. I think Tony is the more like he's either top 5 player in the league or he's hitting pop-ups every single at bat. Mountie is on the level of like he hits like 2 homers a game when he's hot, but when he's not, it's bad. I think that the Tony ceiling and floor is higher and lower, but that doesn't mean the Mountie floor and ceiling isn't high and low also. I just think it goes Tony ceiling, Mountie ceiling like a little below, and then Mountie floor is a little higher than Tony's floor, and then Tony's floor is at the bottom. But he hasn't really been great recently. Like, for a while, he'd kind of been going through it. So they need him to get back to that, but they need a lot of guys to get back to who they are, like with Adley and Mountie and Steady, even, who hasn't really. I mean, he was not good at all early. He kind of found it, and then he's kind of back to struggling. But that's what it really feels like. Where this is the weirdest sentence I probably will ever say, but where would the Orioles be without Albert Suarez and Ramon Urias right now?
Maybe not in the playoffs. Maybe not in a playoff spot, Kevin. I don't know.
One guy nobody knew about before the season. The other guy everybody wanted traded or DFA'd, and I know we're not exempt to that, but it's kind of just like, man, it's tough to put into words, but
it is tough.
You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm getting a haircut tomorrow to change the vibes.
I think you were getting a haircut no matter what.
You know what? Let me have my moment. Let me play it off like I wasn't planning it.
Yeah, I'm considering shaving the mustache.
Oh. Well, here. If I get a haircut tomorrow and they win, everybody has to say it was my haircut. But if they lose and you shave your mustache and they win, then everybody says, wait, you're over here. And everybody says it's you.
I also am getting a haircut soon too. So maybe that's just,
I don't know, but I am. My hair is, look here. Hold on. Look at this. This is me unstyling my hair.
Hope someone screenshot that.
Kind of a look. It goes all the way down. But see, again, I trained it. Look at that. Voila.
Emo Kevin.
One swipe. Yeah, there we go. One swipe, and it's back up there.
Here, I want to talk about.
Oh, what were we bringing up?
So we shit on all the veterans and role players this year, but it's been the stars. So I'm not necessarily going to get into exactly this point, but it brings up something we talked about last night, Kevin. How much is this team missing those veterans from last year? The Adam Fraziers. Because, Kevin, remember that massive play against the Tampa Bay Rays that clinched the playoffs? Kind of separated thing?
I do.
Adam Frazier. Remember who we've talked to, how many players, especially these pitchers, and the first thing they say about last year's team when we're like, hey, talk about last year, they're like, Kyle Gibson was the greatest thing to happen to this team. They're like, it didn't always matter. He won the most games too. He did. People forget Kyle Gibson had the most wins by any Orioles pitcher last year. he won the most games, but it was what he did in the clubhouse that really separated. Yeah, Joe, who gave the Orioles the only lead in the playoffs last year? It was Aaron Hicks. I think we talked about last night, Kevin. Did the Orioles go too young this year? Possibly. Is that something that they're going to have to kind of look in the mirror and be like, hey, we can't just field a team of these prospects and hope that it works out? They need to do something. When is this is so random. Continue. You say what you're going to say because mine is going to derail this conversation.
Okay. Yeah, I think we were saying that even before the season started, where again, it doesn't necessarily matter about the production, right? Like Kyle Gibson was such a clubhouse guy, like he was such a leader for the pitching staff, and Burns is a vet in his own right, and he should be a leader on that staff as well. But even for a guy like Frazier, who has been there, done that. A Hicks, who, again, was the production great for Aaron Hicks for the entire season? No. But he was somebody who was in that clubhouse for the majority of the season and did his thing. Like, mentors. And I think you have to reserve a couple spots. I mean, look, you talk about the NBA, and look, I'll bring a Denver Nuggets example into this. I'm a Nuggets guy, right? I'm Russell Westbrook to the moon this season, by the way. But DeAndre Jordan, he's going on his third year on the Nuggets roster. DeAndre Jordan is like 55 years old. Not actually, but he's old compared to the league. DeAndre Jordan is not the DeAndre Jordan of old, but the Nuggets keep him around because he is one of the best teammates in the league, one of the best veteran locker room presence in the league. And the Nuggets have a decently young team. They need guys like that. For that, and people might not know these names, but Christian Brown, Peyton Watson, Julian Strawther, those are all third year, second year. They have rookies who are going to play for them. They need guys who are going to be on there. Their championship team, it was DeAndre Jordan, Ish Smith, and Jeff Green. Jeff Green played some level of rotation minutes for him, but Ish Smith and DeAndre Jordan sat on the bench for pretty much the entire season. Played no minutes. But they were on the team. Like that. They could mentor the young guys, provide playoff and championship experience. Well, now they could. DeAndre did it last year. They both didn't have championships before. But Ish Smith has played for like 35 teams in the NBA, even though there are 30 teams. So I made that up. But he played for a lot of teams. And DeAndre Jordan has been around. And part of the reason the Nuggets won the championship was because they balanced out their younger talent with their vets. And I think the Orioles have to do this.
Thomas makes a fantastic point here.
Tony.
And I mean this half joking. I'm half joking, but Kevin, I'm kind of half serious. Tony Kemp has been seen as everywhere he goes as the guy's guy. They were like, if you want a dude in that locker room who is going to make sure everything is going well, he's going to be a leader. He's not always going to make the plays in the field, but my God, he'll do what he's asked, and he'll go out there, and he's going to be a leader in the locker room. They don't have that, it seems like, right now. I think James McCann, in some capacity, is it. I don't think Corbin Burns can be the veteran of a rotation. You know who I think is kind of the veteran of this pitching staff right now?
You're going to say Suarez.
No, Zach Eflin. I think Zach Eflin is the guy right now who, if you want to look at a guy who comes in there and he's kind of being the leader, establishing some sort of, hey, now I'm not saying Corbin Burns isn't a leader. We've seen him become way more vocal recently. But Zach Eflin, it seems to be kind of like that veteran leadership role right now.
But here's, I know you're not saying this, but here is my counterpoint to people who are going to say this. I know you're not saying it.
Yeah.
But they need guys who were there from the beginning of the season. Mm-hmm. Like Zach Eflin can be your vet now. That's fine. But you need guys who were there at the beginning of the year to grow. That's why Tony Kemp, we're like, okay, haha, funny. But like he was there at the beginning of the year. And if he had stayed, that would have been like a veteran guy that was there. He's been there, done that. Like, again, is he a 10-time All-Star? No. But, Eflin and Jimenez and all these other guys they brought in as vets, I mean, those are guys that are fine. But much like the three we just talked about, Hicks, Gibson, and Frazier, they were there for the entire year. They grew with the team. They watched the team's progression. They went through the ups and downs of that early season, and they helped those guys out, and that fostered that relationship. So you need to have vets who were there. And I see Rick talking about James McCann. That's a vet. That is a vet.
Yeah.
But you need more. So, Rick, good point with McCann, because I almost forgot him. So thank you for bringing it up. But they need more guys like that.
They do. I completely agree. And that's why I think this offseason is going to be so interesting.
They have to reserve at least 2 spots. I'd go 3 for vets.
Yeah, and it's, do you keep James McCann solely for that reason of, hey, he's got to be a veteran. Obviously, his contract's up. They have a decision to make on Eloy. But if you think, okay, we're replacing Eloy with Heston, we're replacing McCann with Basayo, I see so many things. We can't have the oldest guy on this team be 26. Like, that's not – at this point, who we're getting to the point of who we need to step up as the veterans is guys like Cedric Mullins.
Well, I think that's a fair point. Like, I think he should be.
Yeah, and obviously we don't know what's happening behind the scenes right now.
Sure.
But it feels like those are the guys. I know Tony apparently has become a massive vocal leader.
Yeah.
There was a story written today or yesterday by the Baltimore Sun about how kind of Tony has taken Eloy under his wing and has really helped Eloy Jimenez out. I think it's going to be stuff like that. I think in a lot of ways they were hoping Craig Kimbrell would be that leader this year in the bullpen. Just a presence, a veteran presence. And I think once he started struggling, he had to go and focus on himself. He didn't have time to be that outgoing leader to help other guys out.
I'll even go one more. I'll say that he needed a leader.
Yeah.
He goes from being leader to being somebody who needs a leader. And I literally cannot name you anybody else in that bullpen who could have taken on that role.
I can think of one guy who I always feel comfortable.
Perez?
No, it's going to be Danny Coulomb. And when you look at it.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't counting because he was injured, but yeah.
Well, no, so that's what I'm saying. I think for a little bit he was kind of a leader in that bullpen. When you talk to anyone, they're like, no, Danny Coulomb is one of those guys that makes this place tick. He is as good of vibes as you could get. When he shows up to the ballpark, everyone is just in a different mood. Like he does something to the energy. He brings this energy, but also he can lock in and help guys out. I think they're missing him out there all the time as well. It's little things right now that this team is dealing with. But my God, Kevin, they're what? A game and a half out of first place in the AL East. I think they have the second best record in the American League, like the 4th best record in baseball. It's like the agony, but at the same time, it's like, how is this happening?
This season is so weird.
I'm going to go out and say, now I'm sure like baseball historians will come at me and be like, no, actually, in 1973, it was way weirder. But this is the weirdest season I've seen in a long time.
No one wants it, man. No one wants it.
We want to talk about there are 7 teams in baseball within the number 1 spot in all of baseball. Like the number 1 team in all of baseball is separated by 4 games.
Yeah.
There's 10 of them if you want to go 5.5 games. 10. Like this is just, yeah. This is the other thing. The Orioles gained a half game on the Yankees.
No one wants
this is supposed to be the series. All the Yankee fans were comparing the Orioles and Yankees schedule over the past 7 games, and we're like, oh, this is the game. This is the series where the Yankees at the end of this can be 4 or 5 games up. And they lost a half a game. Like, nobody wants this.
Nobody.
And you know what, Kevin? Screw it. I'm doing it. I'm going to
shave your mustache right now.
No.
Content, come on.
If we lose, if Vibes tomorrow, even if they lose 2 of 3 to the Rockies, I will. That's how That's how. And what sucks is it's in Colorado, so our pitchers are going to give up the dumbest home runs. But
yeah, well, good for the Orioles. Guess what? They love home runs. So
yep. Kevin, can you do a little plug while I do this?
yeah, this is Kevin and Zach Reacts, where we are again your Orioles post-game destination. We're part of the Ryan Ripken Media Empire. You can subscribe over here. We go live after every single Orioles game. We're doing Ravens stuff as well. If you're a football fan and a Ravens fan, we have a lot of content. Actually, the channel, we've been working through some technical difficulties. So actually, we just got the go-ahead for Super Chats. We're going to work for memberships now.
Finally.
Yes, finally. So we're going to be able to plan out what our memberships will look like and just a bunch of other cool content. We're going to put out more short. So for these longer streams, I know it can be tough to go and watch if you didn't watch the stream and watch the hour long. And if you do, that's awesome. Thank you for doing that. That means a lot. But we do now try to clip up a couple of points, the bigger points from the streams and put them out in short form, much like we do over on the Ryan Ripken Show. So, yeah, we're still crazy to think that we don't really have a lot of baseball left. So we're trying to enjoy every one of these while they last. And even during the offseason, we'll still be getting on here reacting to Orioles news that pops up, transactions. We went live a couple of weeks, or I guess only about a week ago now, right? When Trevor Rogers got set down and we reacted to that. So we have a lot coming your way. So really excited. If you've been a part of this journey with us for a while, thank you for being here. The reactors, as we like to call everybody who tunes into us on a realistically pretty decent basis. So thank you for doing that. And if you're new to the channel, hopefully you stay a while. Hit that like and subscribe button over here as well. All right, Zach, what do you got?
So over the last 50 games of Major League Baseball, the number one team in all of baseball is the Arizona Diamondbacks at 35-15. Number two comes in at the San Diego Padres at 31-19. Makes sense. The Padres have a world of talent, and the Diamondbacks obviously represented the NL last year in the World Series, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
The Detroit Tigers are number 3 at 30-20. Kevin, if you want to know what the Tigers season is looking like, they are a single game over 500 despite being 30-20. This is the first time, as of yesterday, it was the first time with the Tigers winning to go over 500. The very first time the Detroit Tigers have been over 500 after the All-Star break since 2017. Then coming in at number 4 is the 29-21 Chicago Cubs. You got teams like the Oakland Athletics, who are 28-22. The Twins are 26-24. Hell, the Rays are 25-25. The Reds are 25-25. The Rangers are 25-25. The Phillies are 24-26, and the Orioles are 23-27. Like, this year is so weird. The Mariners, who were running away with the AL West in their last 50 games, are 21-29. The White Sox in their last 50 games are 7-43. That wasn't necessary to say, but I felt the need to do it anyway.
Yeah, and I know you got those numbers mixed up. They're actually 43-7. But
yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, the White Sox actually have not lost.
Yeah, exactly.
Ever.
Exactly.
Yeah, and this is Brooks. This is exactly the Diamondbacks are so fundamentally sound. They go out there, they put pressure, they steal bases. We talked to Jerry Hairston Jr. a few days ago, and I said this last night. He said that 162, the regular season in baseball, is a boxing match. It's a 15-round boxing match. You go out there, you're going to get your hits, you're going to get hit. But the goal is to be there at the end and have enough punches to when they read the scorecard off, you make the playoffs. Then once it gets into the playoffs, it's a street fight. How did the Diamondbacks go out there and beat the Dodgers last year? How did they go out there and beat the Phillies team that looked destined to win it all without any hassle? Because every single game, they made a street fight. They went out there, they played incredible defense, they stole bases, they worked counts, they put runners in motion, they hit and run, they had an incredible pitching, and they shortened the game with their bullpen. They won because they understood that you didn't have to win each game, you had to win 4 of 7. They condensed each game, and they said if we play like this, we like our odds to go steal 4 games, and that's what they did.
Speaking of the bullpen, I'm glad the Orioles had 2 starters throw today because and
shout out Matt Bowman for taking 40 plus pitches.
Unreal. I do not know. Look, we give Brandon Hyde praise when he deserves it. We criticize as well. I don't understand what's happening there. The guy walks the bases loaded.
Yeah, thank you, Matt Bowman, for all your service and your incredible start to your Orioles career. Here's your reward. We're going to pitch you till your arm falls off. That's what we
now
said.
He can't for what? Probably the next. He might not pitch at all against Colorado.
No, he'll pitch possibly the last game,
Man,
but there's no way you pitch him tomorrow or the day after.
Yeah, which he's been one of their most consistent relievers recently. He's been. You know what? We took this.
We can't do this. No, we're not doing this. We're not doing this.
I need to do it. I need to put the name on somebody. It's literally killing me inside.
We did it on Evan Phillips, and he tried to blow it tonight. We did put it on Evan Phillips.
Wait, okay, let's check in on Evan Phillips. How's he doing?
Well, yeah. Well, he just got the save tonight, but
no, I know, but I'm talking about the series before this because we did it.
Oh, he's been struggling recently. I'm looking at I saw something about Matt Bowman would be optioned tomorrow. No, if they're going to option anyone for Nick Anderson, it's going to be Birch Smith because he has an option left.
Is it just one?
Yeah, he has a singular option left. So it'll be Birch Smith. Damn, Birch Smith is 34. I don't know why I thought he was like 29.
Yeah, that's like when I found out Aaron Judge was like 32 and not 25.
Yeah,
like 2 months ago.
That was a big day.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. But let's get to this first. Gunnar Henderson himself. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you for the $2 super chats, Vic's vibes. I have to agree with this point. I absolutely have to agree with this point. So it's fun now because we get to pull him up on the Ryan Ripken show. Now they get to pull him up here. So yeah, we used to say, "Don't you dare name another fishing." Ripken has been, Ryan. You know what? We named the fish Ripfin, and Ryan threw the best pitch of the night for the Orioles.
He really did.
Where you got possessed in laughter.
That was, I cannot put into words.
You know what I thought when that happened? Like the second it happened, or I guess the second I saw it, I said that 1,000% would have been me if it wasn't Rocco sitting right there.
Oh, without a doubt would have been.
Because Ryan always when Rocco and I are there, Ryan always throws things at me. He never throws things at Rocco. But since I wasn't there, Rocco was obviously the next.
That was a wild. I was caught off guard when that thing just domed Rocco's ass.
By the way, the Shohei bobbleheads from last night, the gold ones, are selling for $17,000 on eBay.
Unreal.
And the regular ones are selling for anywhere from $175, $200. Just
how did you get a gold one? How did you?
I think it was random. I think a certain number of them were gold, and if you happen to pull a gold one, that's the one you got.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Kevin, I'm gonna be real. This team drains me sometimes. Call me crazy, Kevin. Call me crazy. They just need to get hot at the
I thought you were about to say it. Oh my god.
They just need to get hot. No, I'm not going to say that.
I thought you were about to. I'm just like, wow, you're getting bold, man. This is 2 a.m. bold takes.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that. I'm not going to go all the way that.
Wow.
Listen. And you know what? Biohack, kind of like this reason. Look at the positive. Bullpen looks good. Eflin coming back. Grayson saying feels good. Westy hopefully comes back. Kevin, if this team gets hot at the right time, they have as good a chance as anyone. Let's call it like it is.
Well, because everybody is everyone wants to take it. I mean, it's the team. This is a true statement always, but it's the truest statement right now. Whoever gets hot is going to win the World Series. I mean, that's what it's going to be because no one wants it. So whoever gets hot in the playoffs, who finds that spark, everybody's playing so inconsistently that they're going to win. Whoever it is going to win. Maybe it's the Orioles, maybe it's not. But whoever it is gonna do it. Do we want to talk about Povich quickly before we get out of here?
Yeah. Honestly, I'm happy with how he pitched. I know people are probably not going to like that, but listen, there was a crap ton of soft contact. Is this a game that I'm looking there and I'm saying like, oh, great job, Povich? No, I mean, he didn't even get 4 innings, but like the expectations were not there for me. I look for things. He struck out Shohei. He looked decent. Times where I've liked him to go 5-6 innings. Yeah. Am I like over the moon about this start? No. But expectations wise, I'm not like concerned about Povich. We all knew that this was not going to be something that he comes in and was going to light up the Dodgers lineup. He's still making adjustments. He's still new to Major League Baseball. So I wish he could do more, but pitch count got up there fast. 10 really just so much soft contact everywhere. It was so annoying. But yeah, if I had to go on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it a 6. Like, if it was a veteran, it would be closer to like 3. But because the expectation is he's still figuring it out and he's going against one of the best, 1 through 4s in all of baseball. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably go more 4. And I mean, that's just because he didn't make it to 5. I mean, didn't even make it to 4. And also, it's just, look, he gets, look, it's the Dodgers. It's not like he was playing a terrible offense or anything. But, I mean, he put him in a bad spot. Bullpen wise, I mean, what he had 23 pitches at the end of the first. I know it was 20 plus, and then finished with 73 or something.
He finished with 87.
87. I was wrong, right? 87 in 3 1/3. The one walk, if he can have 0 or 1 walks, you take that. I know it wasn't in the big body of work of a 5 or 6 inning start, but I'm not gonna sit here and say that, oh, he was awful and this is the worst start we've ever seen, because trust me, it is far from it. So, yeah, I mean, it was a 4 for me. Like, wasn't impressed, but it was the Dodgers. So,
well, that's the thing is it's like it's so hard for me to sit here and be like mad at Povich.
You're not blaming it on him.
Yeah, like I'm just.
I mean, the Orioles he gives up 5 runs. The Orioles had an opportunity to score more than 5 runs.
Yeah, they had plenty of them. It really was, if like I said, if Povich was a veteran, this would have been an unacceptable start. But I'm not going to give up. I saw people on the internet, because the internet's full of very rational thinkers who take all of it into account when they make their very intellectual opinions known. And they're just, it's Povich guy sucks, like never going to be a major leaguer, like send him down, trade him. Like this was the worst thing ever. We should have traded him for Soto instead. Listen, man. Povich has the stuff. People, how can you like a guy who can only throw 92? There's a lot of guys in Major League Baseball who do not throw hard that get outs. It's not about blowing guys away. It's about getting outs. If you know how to pitch, which Cade Povich is slowly figuring out how to do, that's why you're seeing so much soft contact. His whole career he's gotten soft contact. So it's all about. I agree. Povich has the stuff. He just needs the experience. Once the experience gets there, I've said this. I don't think Povich is ever going to be that number 1, number 2, that guy that you want the ball to give the ball at the game 1 of the playoffs, but man, he can be if he gets it together and just with the walks. Damn, Kevin, how many walks do you have?
Who, Povich?
Yeah, 1. Remember I said what?
Povich had 1 walk. If that's what you're
Damn, remember last night I said if he walked 1 or less, I was guaranteeing a win.
Oh. Well, no, you said probably for 1. You said if you walked 0, you were guaranteed.
Oh, yeah.
So you're off the hook.
I still know ball. That's
hook.
Big.
Yeah.
That's big. I was like, shit. Suddenly when I was talking about his walks, I was like, if he doesn't walk people, he's good. I was like, shit.
Zach Ballinger guarantee, still solid. Still solid. That is, yeah. Good job.
Yeah, sneezed.
Excuse.
Yeah,
Bless you.
Kevin, anything else? It's 2:08 in the morning. We
Yeah,
saw
well, let's round it out with good point from Daniel. Let's give Soto a shout out.
I'm not going to say it, but at the same time, is there a debate of the best Soto in the American League East?
We're taking the solution. We're taking it.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Soto is finally looking good, and you are going to. It's like that one guy said, Rocco killed a player. You killed a whole organization, Kevin.
I thought you went to where I was to fix the vibes. What happened?
Also, I do want to point this out. Oh, Shohei 0 for 5. You need to win that game.
Okay, you know what we're going to do with the solution? We're just going to put it back on Burt Smith so that, if the nickname sinks, it sinks with him. Literally, he's in the tank right now somewhere. I can't see where he is, but
sink or swim, Burt.
All right, so Burt Smith is back to being the solution, even though he really hasn't been.
Yeah, but
Crazy.
For the vibes, he's back to the.
Well, this was our last late night stream, at least considering the game started at 10:10, which was unreal. It's double exhausting because it's exhausting watching them. It's exhausting like this. I still have like 8 million things to do. So yeah, this is exactly the order, Daniel. I'm with you. This is it.
Yeah, it's perfect.
No debates. But yeah, I think that's all we have. You got anything else?
Yeah,
we're done. All right, well that'll do it for us here on Kevin and Zach React. Again, on the way out, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It helps this Orioles conversation, Orioles content get in front of more Orioles fans. Obviously, we are doing some Ravens stuff as well, and yeah, we're gonna keep coming to you with the post-game reactions. Eventually, when we start to get more of these things rolling, like the super chats and the memberships, which we're getting going, we'll do live watch-alongs, try to get that going for the playoffs, hopefully, but just win.
Just win.
They haven't done it over these past 2 games, but just win.
Just win back in the Mile High State tomorrow. Just win, Kevin. Just win, but that will do it. We'll be back here tomorrow. More normal time, 8 o'clock start, so won't be a 1 a.m. start, I don't think. Yeah. People are asking me to explain Chihuahuas again. I'm telling you guys right now, Chihuahuas means absolutely nothing. It means absolutely nothing. Like, people want a big explanation for this. It means absolutely nothing.
It can mean something if you want to put it in like Urban Dictionary or something.
No, I want Chihuahuas to mean absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. The whole backstory is this UFC fighter said it in a post-fight interview, and they were like, what does this mean? And he literally just said it's a word that he and his friends made up because it sounded funny. And ever since that day, like that next episode, I just said it to end the show, and then me and Kevin have just been doing it since. So it's just a funny word. It has Chihuahuas means if you were hoping that there was some like deep meaning to Chihuahuas, I'm really sorry. It literally was just a funny word I heard, and now I say it just out of habit. So we'll see you tomorrow. As always, Chihuahuas.